Hi! Welcome to my channel. So today we will be trying out 4 different horses as I've grown out of my old lease pony, and today I decided that I want to move a step forward and get my own instead of having a lease. So let's go try out some ponies and, well, horses technically, as we're looking for something bigger. Now, the last horse we're trying is the one I'm looking forward to the most, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll get changed before we go, of course, because we need to be in proper riding clothes, don't we? See you at the first stables. So the first horse we're trying today is this absolutely adorable and very cute super cob who is said to be able to do a lot. Example, jumping very high for a cob is what they've said. So hopefully this cob will be something to look at, though I highly doubt it. Only reason I'm checking out this horse is because she is at Steve's farm, which is currently where I am located with my stables. So until I move stables, she is currently here, so she's the closest, so that's why we've come to check her out. Her owners let me go get her from the pasture as she has been turned out, so that's what I did. So I went to go get her. She was so cute, honestly, very adorable. So if I had the time and the money for multiple horses, she would most likely be coming home with me anyways, but today we're looking for only one, so sadly she is most likely not going to be coming home with me, but you never know, maybe she's just impresses me over all the other horses. So she was very good and very well behaved when I was tacking her up, which was a green flag, but still it's the bare minimum that you would want from especially a first horse. So far she is just doing the bare minimum. During the duration of me leading her, she was a very sweet and well-behaved cob with very amazing ground manners. They had set the jumps up for me prior to me entering the arena, which was very nice, so I didn't have to worry about setting up the jumps or worrying about them, thankfully. So all I had to do was just get on. When I was getting on, she was very nice. She stood completely still as I was getting on her, so no hassle, no moving, which is also something that you'd expect from a first horse. So yet again, she's still just doing the bare minimum, but as a first pony, or if you've never or for a kid's pony, she would be a very good first pony, so you don't grow out of her too fast, as she is still on the side where she is technically a horse, but she's still a bit too small for me. She felt really safe when riding her, which is a really good thing to have with a horse, especially the first one. So she had a really nice trot, really nice walk, and just her gaits in general were all very nice and just very amazing. Honestly, if I was a kid and I got her as my first pony, I would be very happy. She had a really nice canter. It was just the nicest canter ever, so smooth, especially for her. She's such a calm horse, not really afraid of anything, wasn't really looking at anything much either, not spooking or anything like that. Honestly, amazing pony. I did do a few circles on her to test how responsive she was, and she turns really easily. She isn't very strong or anything. She turns really easily. She's very soft in the mouth, so very good for a kid that doesn't have a lot of strength to put into a horse. She's very good at coming into jumps. You can tell that she likes her job and that you can trust in her to not refuse or anything like that. She will not say no to a jump unless she knows that she cannot jump it at all, but she has a lot of scope, especially for a cob, so she will charge into jumps, and you just have to kind of go with her and trust her. But she is, as they said, a super cob, so she will go over almost anything. She had very good brakes. She would make a really good riding school pony, honestly, especially one that has a lot of younger kids that want to get further, especially in show jumping. She would be absolutely perfect for them, and she would be a favorite of many. But this was around the end of our ride, where I was very satisfied with the ride. She was a very good pony, but I don't think she was the one for me. I led her to the stables so I could get her untucked and give her some pets, because every horse deserves pets, even if they would have done something wrong or whatever, like bucking or anything, but she was perfect, so she deserves the most pets ever. But she was a wonderful pony, but I really don't think she was the one for me, but you know, she was very well behaved, and I hope that she finds a good home with somebody else. Her current owners asked me to lead her out into the pasture because she lives out 24/7, and apparently she was not ridden for the past few weeks. She's more of a yard ornament at the moment, but she was still so well behaved, so that's why I believe she would be better for a younger rider who wants to get further in the sport, or a riding school, because even without being ridden for a while, she is still good as gold. As I say my goodbyes to Angel with a pet, it is time to go see the next horse, as this has taken quite a while seeing Angel, seeing as I had to get her from the pasture, but honestly, I do not mind. And apparently, our next horses are all already in the stables, except for the last one. Our next horse that we're viewing is a French breed, which I don't think I should try to say, as I feel like some people may be a bit offended with my pronunciation, so I think we'll just leave it at that it's a French breed. His name is Mouse. He is a gorgeous horse, as you can see, a flea-bitten gray. I love myself a good flea-bitten, so one of the reasons I've come to see him, and he is a very good eventer apparently, and all-rounder, so yeah, we'll be trying him out in both dressage and jumps today, so let's see how that goes. He also had very good ground manners, just like Angel, which was very nice. So thankfully he is kind of what I expected from such an expensive horse, though he isn't the most expensive horse we're trying today. But still, he has the manners I'd expect a horse of this price and age to have, as he is not green at all, and he is supposedly a schoolmaster at this point, as he is just a bit on the older side, but he's not that old yet that he's still good to go for competitions. He was very good and very well behaved during the whole duration of our ride. He was very sensible, and he was just a very nice horse overall to ride, honestly. He had a very nice floaty trot, honestly, one of the best, and there's just so many good things about him. But the thing is, I am trying younger horses later on, and his price point is very high, even though he is very talented. So I'm not entirely sure if he's the one, but he is on the top of my list for now, so hope maybe he will come home with me and maybe he won't. But during our ride he was very amazing, honestly. One of the best horses I've ever ridden, so honestly, he is worth his weight in gold, honestly. After a bit of riding, his owners asked me if I wanted to swap to the indoor arena so I could take him over some jumps. So, of course, I said yes, because that's the main reason we are here, because even though all-rounders are nice and eventers, I was mainly looking for a show jumper, but if they were into eventing, that would be a bonus as well. So we brought him into the indoor, and then we started trotting him over some jumps first before we started cantering. But after the jump, of course, he will pick up a canter, as it's a bit easier. So we took some canter strides around as well before we started jumping. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing over the jumps, though. Very, very easy to control his speed, and very, very listening. He listens very well. So it was amazing to fly over some jumps with him, as he has the scope for it and he has done it before. Very wonderful and magnificent horse, honestly. Very, very worth it. And then I cooled him off at the end with a few strides of trot and then some walk, so he would be able to go into his stall again, where then his owners would take him into turnout. It was a very eventful and nice ride, honestly. Well, I wouldn't really say eventful, but just very fun ride. He is very nice, very well behaved and well mannered horse. I like him a lot more than Angel, but his price is more than double Angel's, so yeah, that is something that will have to be considered. I led him back to his stall so I could get him untacked and then say my goodbyes to him. Not sure if they're final or not yet, but that all depends on what horse I decide to buy at the end of the day. As I was done untacking him, I was ready to leave, and now it's time to go to the last and final stables with the last two horses, as they're both the same breed from the same breeders. So yeah, off to the next stables. Lastly but not least, we are at Golden Leaf Stables, and we have two Hanoverians that we are trying here today. The first one is named Fawn, and the second one is named Frost. But currently, first we're going to be trying Fawn. She is somewhat green, so I really don't think she will be coming home with me, as her owner said that she's a bit spicy. But the reason we're trying her is because she has a decent price tag on her, and because why not? Because it's on the way, basically, because you know, they're at the same stable. So we're going to be trying her before we try Frost, who is the horse I am most looking forward to, because he is under the age of 10. He is pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he's about 8.5, and he is really, really well broken in. He's amazing, an all-rounder eventer, which I was promised that I could take him cross-country even, or just at least over some cross-country jumps. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. But Fawn was very good when I was tacking her. I thought that she would put up more of a hassle and be a bit more difficult, but she was very good and she was very nice to lead. I was told that when riding her, she can be a bit spicy, so that if you don't let her do what she wants, she may buck or rear. And I was also told that she's a bit more strong, so she's a stronger horse, and that if you do end up pulling on her mouth too much or try to hold her back, she may not like that, and then she may show you how she feels. But we'll see how this ride goes. I'm very grateful for the warning that I was given by the owners, because I may need it. So yeah. The owners let me warm her up before jumping by just walking and trotting and cantering before they put up the jumps, which was good, because as they told me that if you put up the jumps first, she's going to anticipate them, and then even when warming up, she will become a lot more stronger, as she can be pretty soft in the mouth on basic flat work, but as soon as you put up jumps, then she just becomes stronger. So for my safety and also just to make it more enjoyable for me, they put up the jumps only after I had warmed her up. She was actually very well behaved during our warm-up, and she had really nice gait. Honestly, like, she would be a really good horse if she was worked on a bit more, and she would be a good project horse if I wanted something to work on, but currently that's not really what I'm looking for. But it was still a somewhat fun ride, at least the warm-up, and yeah. As I was finishing warming her up and testing how responsive she was in canter and trot and everything, I decided to just go around a bit, just a bit more after she was a bit more warm, just to see, does she still stay very nice and how well does she listen? And then at the end, I took some walk before the owners decided to go get the jumps ready. I also had a change of rein, because I want to see how she reacts on the other rein, because some horses work better on the other rein than they do the other, but she was very well behaved on both, so we'll see how the jumps go, and hopefully we don't end up flying off. As soon as the jumps were put up, I could feel that she was a completely different horse. She was already so much stronger and so much more eager. You can tell that she likes to jump and she really wants to do it and she likes her job, but apparently what her owner said is that if you don't hold her back, she'll go, and then because she's still green, she doesn't know how to calculate the stridings herself, so then she'll mess it up easily. So that's the problem with her, and because she tends to be a bit spicy when you don't let her do what she wants to do. Her stride wasn't as easily adjustable as Mouse's was, neither as Angel's, so that was something that I have to work with, especially if I pull too much. She will definitely not like it. So she was an experiment, and as you can see there, she knocked the jump as I expected, because as I was told that if you aren't careful, she will knock stuff. So I still need to work with her. She's still a work in progress, but if in a few years, then she'll be a better horse, and maybe if I come to try her again, if she hasn't sold yet, then maybe then she can come home with me, because she is a very pretty horse. She is very speedy though, and that she would make a good eventer, but yeah, I don't know if that's really in her, but she would make a good eventer. So that's where I decided to take a little small stop with her, and then continue cantering to see maybe if that would calm her down a bit. And then as soon as we went over another jump, it didn't really help. I decided to try and cool her down with some trot before continuing some jumping, and then some canter, but yeah, her owners put the pole back up that she knocked, but you know, it is what it is. But she was still speeding, and the brakes were almost non-existent. We tried the jump again that she knocked earlier. This time she didn't knock it, and it went a bit better as I could count my strides a bit better, and then yeah, but she was very speedy. Honestly, surprisingly hard to control. I thought she would be a bit easier to control after what I felt on flat work, but yeah, she is a completely different horse when jumping, but if you want speed, for example going across a show jumping round, she would be perfect for that. So this is where I started to try and slow her down a bit and cool her off, but I don't think she really liked it as she started moving a bit, and then she decided to rear and back up, and then she also bucked, so I decided that this should be more of the end of our ride as she started to get a bit more frustrated and annoyed as I was pulling her back as she was speeding a bit too much, so I let her jump up just a bit more before cooling her off and ending our ride there. As soon as she realized that we weren't jumping anymore and that we were only walking and that it was over, she started becoming softer in the mouth again, and she started acting a bit more like she did earlier, which was kind of nice, but at the same time, this horse is just not for me, at least not yet. If I want a show jumper that will not stop at anything, then maybe then. But at the moment, she is just not for me. I still gave her a pat though, because she did her best, because some horses will have their quirks, and she has her own. So, yeah. She managed to really calm down on her way back to the stables, which is telling me that with a lot of work, well, not even a lot, but just some amount of work would probably be quite enough to really make her an amazing horse. So I brought her to get untacked, and then the owners told me that I can just leave her there, and while I go get Frost, that they would put her out to the pasture. So that is exactly what I did. As I say my goodbyes to Fawn and start to get on my way to go get Frost. So Frost is a very talented all-rounder horse. He's done so many eventing shows, and he is just amazing. He's actually really huge as well, but he's such a gentle giant apparently, and as soon as at least that's what they told me, and as soon as I saw him, after opening the gate, I could tell that he was exactly as they described, a gentle giant. As soon as I approached him, I could tell that he was ready to go and that he was very, very well mannered. He wasn't running away, he wasn't trying to bite or anything like that, and he let me catch him really easily. He was very nice to lead back to the stables, and his owners had him ready braided from me, which was really nice because it shows how well he can look, especially when with his tail and mane braided, because he looks really fancy, like he's ready for a show. Once I let him into the stall, I gave him pets to reward his good behavior by just letting me lead him really nicely and stuff. And then I started tacking him up, which was a piece of cake, because he just stood completely still, not doing anything wrong. He's been there, he's done that, and he is such a great horse, honestly. The most wonderful horse I've probably ever been around. But he is by far the most expensive out of all the horses we've tried today, by a long shot. So if I do end up bringing him home, which I may end up because he is such a great horse, it's going to leave quite a hole in my wallet. The owners of Fawn and Frost had left the jumps out at the arena, so I could easily warm Frost up and start jumping and trying him out. He was really great and really calm and nice when leading him to the arena. He didn't spook at anything, not a single thing, even though there was a lot of things going around at the stables. As soon as I got on him, I could tell that he was the one, the horse that I would most likely be bringing home, which I will have to reveal in the next video because it's not 100% sure as he is very pricey, but I am pretty confident that he is the horse that I will be bringing home at the end of the day. He had such a nice and such a dreamy trot that only one could ever dream of. honestly, he was such a magnificent horse when I was trying him. Like, honestly, if I could have brought him home right then and there, I would have. As soon as I started cantering on him, he had such a nice canter. It was so amazing. Like, for a horse of his size, a canter like this was absolutely magnificent. Like, it was honestly the best. And now it was finally time for me to start jumping him. And when I tell you he had the most adjustable stride ever and most adjustable speed, he was absolutely perfect, honestly. Like, you could only imagine having a horse like this. It was just it. I realized that at this point choosing one of the other horses over him would be very difficult, as he is a bargain, to be honest. He was absolutely perfect, and I realized that if I didn't bring him home with me, that I would most likely be a fool. But he is quite over my budget, basically, but he is very, very talented, especially for his age. Like, and he was started pretty late as well, and he was absolutely amazing. His owners asked if I wanted to take him over some cross-country jumps, which of course I agreed to, so I walked him out of the arena, and he was very, very well behaved outside of the arena as well. And then I also got to try him to see how he deals with water, example if I wanted to go eventing with him, and he was amazing, so well behaved. When I was riding him, I felt so safe, and it really felt like this horse wasn't scared of anything, and that anything you put him to, he would do it, he would jump it. Honestly, he is the most amazing horse you could ever have or want. Honestly. His owners asked me to go cool him off in the arena, so I did some walk, trot, and canter to cool him off to make sure that he would be ready to go back out to the pasture once I untack him, and he was absolutely amazing, honestly. His owners let me walk him all the way to the stable yard so I could avoid some loss of time by leading him there, because he is definitely faster at walking than I am. So that's what we did. We rode to the front of the yard, and then I got off of him and decided to attack him there. So once I got off, I gave him some pats for being such a good boy during our lesson. Then I brought him to one of the stalls, got him untagged. His owners told me not to worry about bringing him back to the pasture, as they said that they would do it themselves. I don't know if they are moving him to a different one or something, but they said that they just told me not to worry about it, which was pretty nice. So I just got him untagged, and then I was on my way. And now I just have to make a decision. Then I pet him goodbye, as he was my top favorite out of all the horses I tried today, so of course I have to pet him goodbye as well. And then I'm on my way back to my stables so I can finally decide which one do I bring home as my first horse. Honestly, Frost seems like the best decision, but for his price, he may not be. Welcome back to the stables. I think I'm going to need all of your help to decide who I bring home, as they're all really wonderful options, but I don't really know which one to get because a lot of them are over my budget, but at the same time, some of them are worth their weight in gold and are really amazing, and I don't really know which one do I bring home at the end of the day. So please help me decide in the comments. I hope to see you again in the reveal of which one I get.